Bowling, brought to you by Pepsi. Nothing else is a Pepsi. Jeff Weiler's Eastgate Auto Mall, where over 1,000 cars, trucks, and vans are cheaper in the country. And by Miller Lite. When you've got the great taste of Miller Lite, life is good.
Good morning, Cincinnati. This is it, week number 6, BPA King of TV Bowling. I'm your host, David Newrath. Jennifer Kleekamp and I have been bringing you the action each and every week, and it just keeps getting better and better.
You know, David, we are at Crossgate Lanes today, and we talk about family and bowling all in the same sentence. The Betting House family does a fine job in bowling. They keep their establishments looking great, and it's a great place to come out and bowl, and we're going to see some exciting matches today. Last week we had all that striking going on. There's no reason to believe why that shouldn't be exactly the same this week.
And if you want to watch some of that striking, stay tuned. 2 minutes from now, we'll start with match number 1 on this week's King of TV Bowling.
Is Red Dog better tasting premium beer? Well, yeah. It's brewed without any fancy gimmicks by Plank Road to be gold, bold, and uncommonly smooth. But hey, it's your call.
You're cheating.
Classic the past 51 years. For information.
And to Kings Island, with discounts for other families. 761 Bowl.
Match number 1, this is week number 6. Tony Harmeyer against John Shelton. Tony will be starting the match on the left-hand lane. A left-hander wearing one of those devices, Jen.
Yeah, he's trying to get a little better roll on the ball, keeping his wrist very firm and tight with the contraption that keeps his wrist erect. I've never been able to deal with that on my hand. I never felt free enough to do little release moves, but there's a lot of people who swear by them. And of course, if you are interested in that, you can always go check out Tri-State. Tri-State Bowling Supply.
They've got all the apparatus that you might want to try. And bringing back the spare in the first frame. A much better way of starting than last week when we had 2 or 3 opens to start the match.
Yeah, but boy, did things come together after that. Tons of striking going on last week. Big games, 250s and 240s, winning each and every match.
This division has really been a pleasant surprise, Jen. With
it really has. And here we have a newcomer, John Shelton. John bowls out here at Crossgate Lanes.
Yeah, John's not looking comfortable right now, and I'm sure he's going to calm down, but he's just wondering to himself, what should we do next? Even in the shadow balls, he was never able to get that comfortable with the lanes.
Nice shot. Covering the head pin right on over to that 710.
John picks up a difficult spare. Take a look at the 1 and the 3. The 1's going to go to the left side of your screen, and a combination into the 7. That's about as perfect as you can make it. I believe John's speed is probably the weakest part of his game that I can see, Jennifer. Speed is something that you need to work on, and the backswing is going to be the key for John, but if he can strike and keep it around the pocket, more power to him.
That is true, David. The backswing is everything when it comes to speed, but he has his timing developed into his swing, so that's his best way to get to the line correctly.
Here we go. This guy knows how to bowl. We've seen him a couple of 3 times. Tony Harmeyer. Right-hand lane really gets through the ball deep knee bend, but comes up a little short, leaves the 2, 4, 7, and the 8. This spare is no box of chocolates, Jen.
No, it is, and I typically like to move off of my strike target on this one. In my case, I move 7 boards left. In his case, it'd be 7 boards right. Works pretty good for me.
Well, let's see. It's definitely a percentage shot over the second arrow, and it looks like it's not the way we recommend that you make it, but it works.
It did appear as if he did shoot that spare off of his strike target. However, setting it down a little bit early, got over the top of the ball, missed his mark a little bit, and then just got a great break.
Yeah, it takes the 2-pin into the wall, and that's the action you're always looking for. Crossgate lanes, lane 7, Tony Harmeyer rings it up with 10 in a pit, every pin doing its job, and now we're going to get to see John Shelton one more time. Unique style, some things he can work on, but again, he's here. You're watching him, Greater Cincinnati.
And he's only been bowling for a fairly short time, and he only bowls twice a week, and he's averaging 189, so if it's not broke, don't fix it. He's doing fine.
Got a lot of natural ability. Look at this, the slow roller, and he's having fun out there too. Good.
That's a good point, David. That slow roll really got that head pin working for him that time.
Okay, watch how little backswing it is. Doesn't even come up to his belt loop, Jen. That you can't develop speed like that. And of course, you're not going to have the best balance at the line, but you know what? Like you said, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And John right now is throwing strikes.
And bowling is fun. It doesn't matter how you do it. We've seen a tremendous amount of different kinds of styles.
Whoops. Well, that's got about 4 more than I thought it was going to get.
A lot of wood, lot of wood.
John
602, that's all it took, David.
37 years old, 189 average. He's right on the bubble. First TV appearance and 275. So he's used to carrying some of those slow strikes, huh? Let's see if he can bring back another difficult spare. It's in the area.
Right across him. Now that is the way you should make that, covering all 3 pins with the ball.
That's right.
Tony now is working on a strike. He'll be up on the right-hand lane. Mr. Bo Bettinghouse, the proprietor here, buzzing around here all morning long, getting things ready, and it's looking good.
It certainly is. And we've got some things to talk to you about as far as promotions go as we watch another unique strike go down. Tony goes straight through the nose and caves it in. Take a look at it. We show you the good ones. We'll show you one of the worst ones. This is it. Sorry, Tony, nothing personal, but this ball stinks. Right through the head pin. Head pin goes straight back. That's the 2-pin going to the wall, and the 5-pin falling into the 4, falls into the 7. Not a pretty sight. Trailing by 1. Very fortunate to break down the split, Jen, only leaving the 610.
Look like his speed is just a little bit slow yet. He's going to need to pick up the pace, get that ball to go down the lane. Going high, 674, great score here at Crossgate Lanes. Age 34, and it's 5th time on TV. So we have seen him 2, 3, 4, 5 times.
I knew you'd get me on that one. Cross lane for the spare. Easily brings it back. Well, again, our sponsors are responsible for us being here each and every week. Jeff Weiler and all of his dealerships on the east side of town. He's got something for everybody, and we'll tell you about the car that they brought out this week. The Miller family of fine beers. Pepsi, of course. Slush Puppies in the group, and the BPA, bringing you fun bowling for 32 years to Cincinnati living rooms.
Well, I'll tell you what, John is filling frames. He's filled all 4 so far, and Tony only had a double, and he's filled his, so the game is pretty close at this point.
Jen, I think probably the most positive thing that I can say about John's game, other than he's striking, is that rolling the ball that slowly, the pins have a tendency to stay down.
They really do.
If they stay down, they're going to knock something down instead of going straight up and over pins as we see the power players
That's
do.
a good point. John would like us to say hello to his fiancée, Angie Reeder. Congratulations to her. Hopefully he can win her some bucks this week.
Let's see if we can watch the pins on this particular shot. John's pins will stay down and not fly up and around things. Just watch him kind of stay down slowly and just roll around and, you know, try to knock things over.
I'll tell you another positive point about his game, David, is he's getting all the way to the edge on the left-hand side, out where the boards are dry, so that the ball will come back. It appears if he gets it all the way out to the second board, it will come back. And that's a pretty tricky shot.
Well, we've got a promotion that's going to be going on, and we'll tell you all about it in just a few minutes, but we're going to give you a clue. It has something to do with the zoo, and zoo involves cute little critters like him. Our stage director, Jennifer Hudipole, and her newfound friend, Mr. Ferret from the Cincinnati Zoo. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with the last half of this match.
Hello, I'm David Weiler, and the Jeff Weiler Auto Mall has a new state-of-the-art showroom just for GM vehicles. Chevys, Geos, Pontiacs, and Buicks. Chevy Cavalier, Pontiac Sunfire, just $32 down and $32 over invoice. Pontiac Grand Ams and Buick Centuries, $32 down, $32 over invoice. Chevrolet Camaros and Pontiac Firebirds, $32 down, $32 over invoice on Route 32. Jeff Weiler's Auto Mall has it all. Route 32 Eastgate, cheaper in the country.
Now this is Slush Puppy. Slush Puppy, a frozen fruit flavored drink that's fun in a cup. Oh, sure, kids love Slush Puppy, and you will too. Available at most entertainment centers like amusement parks, bowling centers, and many convenience stores. Oh, whoops, almost forgot. Same places you'll find Thelma's old-fashioned lemonade. Thelma's old-fashioned lemonade and Slush Puppy's variety of frozen fruit flavors, as cool as it gets.
Less than a minute. This one is over.
Leagues, they know their games count, and standard rules help.
Tony Harmeyer trailing by 1 pin as he steps up onto lane number 8 here at Crossgate. It's in the area.
Better speed. Too much speed. Solid 7-pin. This is one tight match here, David. Halfway through, virtually tied up.
It's a toss-up. It goes to the harder shell ball. The silver ball is not going to hook as much. He can go straighter at the pin and not fear hooking away for a miss. There it is.
Pretty professional shot for a 189 and under guy.
Absolutely. He is savvy. Savvy bowler. And we've got a lot of savvy bowlers on BPA King of Bowling for 32 years, bringing them into your living room. We've got some great players coming up in matches 2 and 3 today. This, of course, is week number 6, and this marks our halfway point through 1996 already, Jen.
It's really hard to believe, David. We just have so much fun each and every Sunday morning bringing this show to you. So if you ever get a chance to check out where we're going to be taping, come on out and see us. It's pretty interesting stuff.
Love to have you. I'm not my normal charming self all morning, but
but we get over it.
That's right. We get over it. Oh, look out. I think he was shooting for our camera down there, Jenny.
I think he needed that straight ball to go after that 7-pin. You know, that is an interesting point, too, David, by using that straight ball technique. Sometimes when the lanes are hooking, I'm never sure whether to use, you know, something that's comfortable in your hand, your first ball, or go to something that you haven't had maybe on your hand.
I agree.
In that case, I think that since he threw that 7-pin so well, that he should have went for the 10-pin with the same ball.
Couldn't agree with you more.
Of course, now that he missed it, it's easy to say.
Right. But I know what you're saying. There, get out, get. Oh, 7 pin.
That was an opening for John. If he can spare it up, he's going to go ahead in this match.
Well, we'd like to thank Jeff Weiler for bringing out the Geo tracker, of course, each and every week. If you watch the BPA King of Bowling, and you can just hustle on out there to Jeff Weiler and you say, hey, Jeff, I heard about the Geo tracker on the King of Bowling. They will give it to you at invoice. That's right, invoice. No haggling, no messing around. You like it, you drive it away, and Jeff and any of the guys out there will take care of you.
Of course, Frank Lambert bringing the Geo tracker out to us this morning. Of course, it's 4-wheel drive, so you know Cincinnati weather, you're going to need that. Go check him out. Some great deals going on.
That's right, would come in handy. And the left-hand lane. John Shelton. What do you think, John? A washout.
Light. He has converted this spare one other time on lane 7. Let's see if he can make the same attempt at it.
The 1, 3, 6, 7. The left-hander's washout. And again, you have to play this to the right of the pin in the middle of your screen. That's the head pin, the 1. And throw it over into the 7 pin. He's done it before, and that's not going to do it this time. Takes 3 back.
Well, John says, Tony, I don't want the match, you take it. Tony says, I don't want it, you take it. Let's see who's going to take control here in the 8th, 9th, and 10th.
All right. We are going to see, oh, I like what he did right there. Just turned the ball a little bit more in his hand to go for a little more roll. And boy, it took a minute to hit the lane too, Jen.
I think he just topped the ball a little bit, David.
Cuts through sharply, yeah.
Extremely difficult split here.
The 2, the 7, and the 8. There you see it. This is a difficult one. You try to hit it just to the left of center of the frontmost pin. That'll be the 2 pin. Let the ball carom off, deflecting just enough. Nope. To work its way in between. Difficult spare, very difficult. And these bowlers are struggling. 140 in the 8th to 148 with 2 frames yet to go.
But see, David, as bad as that looks, this is what's so important about bowling. In the 9th and 10th frame, if both of these guys both strike out, they're going to get 200 games. As bad as that looked, it's not out of reach.
Exactly right. You can pick up 60 quick ones with a 4-bagger in the 9th and 10th. And I think
that's a start.
I think Tony wants to start.
I think that's a new ball for Tony. I've never seen him throw that before. He's checking it out with Ken Dressman of Miller Beers. Also Cliff Ott with us this morning.
Ken, how long has he been around? He's about old as dirt too, isn't he? He's been with the show and representing here for a long time.
By the way, David, too, we got the big wig with us today, Gene Trenkamp. Can't forget about him, or I'm in big trouble.
That's right.
Nice guy, Gene Trenkamp. Welcome him this morning.
John going high on the right-hand lane, leaving the 6-10 not to be, and I think Tony Harmeyer put the fear into John with throwing a great strike there in the 10th frame. Looking on from the back again, Kathy Brocksterman, Executive Secretary of the BPA, and brings back a spare.
And of course, our other ladies that do a fine job on Saturdays and Sundays, Betty Volker and Ann Fisher. Just doing a great job organizing the qualifying each and every week.
John Shelton, as you look at him right now, has an 8-pin lead. Tony Harmeyer, who we will see next frame, has a strike working. This is about as close as it's going to get going into the 10th.
Again, he got it wide, but he got it wide at a further down point in the lane. I'd say like somewhere around 40 feet. And there's no way, as slow as his speed is, that ball is going to come back at that point. It just didn't have enough torque on it.
Exactly right, Jen. And if John wants to work on anything in his game, he can work on staying down a little bit more, creating a little bit more of a pendulum arm swing that comes through smoothly rather than pulling it through or dumping it as he did right there.
Well, I have a lot of women ask me, Jen, how do you get so much speed on the ball, and I tell them push away, push away, push away. You push it away, and it just automatically, your backswing gets higher, and you create more and more energy going into the swing. Anybody can throw a 16-pound ball. They really can.
That is true, and the gravity will create your swing for you if you just let it. Well, we see John finish out with another shot going high there, 184 his total. Again, not too far removed from the 189 and under that he is participating in, so not all that bad. But Tony can win this match with a strike. This is it.
Oh, and leaves a solid 7. The best he can do now is 180. He will lose, even with a spare and strike, by 4 pins.
Well,
John won it on spares, David.
That's right. It was a spare contest. Tony Harmeyer brings back the spare, but to no avail. John Shelton is already our winner in the 189 and under division. 184. We'll recap when we come back in just a moment.